had a lot of areas that have already been supported by yourselves, including health and education and water, sanitation, and roads infrastructure. But now we are talking about the future. And these areas that you have just mentioned about the future collaboration, well, to start with, let me say that we are extremely thankful for the fact that you have been able to increase, from 400 and something to 1.2 billion. This is indeed very much appreciated, because we believe that this amount of money will go a long way to make a difference both in mainland Tanzania and in Zanzibar, particularly in these areas of priority that we have right now. A few words on blue economy, the sectors in blue economy. I'll start with tourism. It contributes 30% of our GDP here. So we believe that more needs to be done in tourism, although it is doing very well. But I'll give you an example. We have more than 600 hotels in Zanzibar right now, and counting. Every day, people are here to build more hotels. The way we think will be the general public will benefit from this is what you mentioned, the skills of our youth. So we need to build the skills so that they can work in these hotels, but not only when the hotels are ready, but even during the construction. So we need to build skill around this area to get more youth employable. So I thank you very much for the fact that you have set aside funding for that particular area. It will be very beneficial. We are not getting much out of it because the fishing is still very traditional. We do not process. And now we are looking forward to do the processing part, value addition. And the fact that you have spoken about industrial processing zones, which will include, value addition to our products, that will be very much appreciated because of the fact that now we'll get value for money. Usually the fishermen would sell at any price comes during the evening, because they cannot keep it until tomorrow morning. So now that we will have the processing plants, it will be easy for them to get the right price. We have a good number of women who are working in seaweed farming here in Zanzibar. And I can give you a small example. They are selling their produce at less than 1,000 shillings per kilo. Now, they need only 3 kilos to produce powdered form of the seaweed, which sells at 10,000 shillings. So if we support these women to dry the seaweed and to process it into powder, that 3 kilos that would normally fetch them less than 3,000 would immediately fetch them 10,000. So that's the reason we are looking to add value in this place, so that we can give more benefit to the farmers and to the youth that are working around these areas. Infrastructure, and we are talking here about the ports infrastructure. So thank you very much for your intention to support us when it comes to infrastructure. Everything very much in the end depends on infrastructure, whether it is road infrastructure, the ports, and airports, and so on. So all these areas you have been supporting us, and we are really thankful for that. Infrastructure, and we are talking here about the ports infrastructure. So thank you very much for your intention to support us when it comes to infrastructure. Everything very much in the end depends on infrastructure, whether it is road infrastructure, the ports, and airports, and so on. So all these areas you have been supporting us, and we are really thankful for that.
We discuss more generally about some of the areas that we could be supporting more in Zanzibar. And one area is clearly the issue of skills. The other one, of course, is the blue economy, as I mentioned earlier. And the third one, of course, is, and while we are on the blue economy, Mr. President, I wanted to mention 3 things. One is the infrastructure to help you support that more dynamic blue economy. And secondly is support to understand the impact of climate change on the blue economy and the viability of that blue economy. And the third is, whether one cannot have a vessel that allows you to be able to study what the dynamics of the blue economy ecosystem is. When I was Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, I found that this to be very, very important. That you need to know the stock of what you have, the diversity of what you have, and how they are declining over time, because over time, you're going to make a lot of money from the blue economy. I want to assure you, Mr. President, of the very, very strong support and commitment of both myself and of the bank to Tanzania and to Zanzibar. The resources that are needed, we've discussed. As of, I think I was working until about 1 a.m. this morning. The envelope we had when I arrived for this year was going to be about $400 or so million. And I challenged my team. I said, well, we have the standard gauge railway, which is very important. We have the special agro-industrial processing zones, which is also very important. We have the budget support that we should provide, which is very important. So I'm glad, Your Excellency, Mr. President, to say that as of this morning, we have now raised that to $1.2 billion. So adding significantly well over $700 million overnight to that. So I'm delighted to be able to inform you of that. So that will really give a wider set of envelope for you to be able to plan your thing. So lastly is I love to come back to visit Zanzibar more personally.
Rais wa ADB Dr. Desina ni mara yake ya kwanza kufika hapa Zanzibar kama rais wa ADB, African Development Bank, toka alipochaguliwa mwaka 2015 na sasa hivi anaserve katika kipindi chake cha pili kuanzia mwaka 2022. Kwa hiyo alichokuja hasa kwanza kuja Zanzibar kama rais wa ADB, lakini kwa ajili ya kuangalia miradi ambayo inakuwa supported sasa hivi na ADB. Kuna miradi mingi ambayo ADB imesupport Zanzibar katika sekta za elimu, afya, miradi ya barabara, na sasa hivi kuna miradi ya barabara ambayo inaendelea. Lakini ADB vile vile amesupport design pamoja na feasibility study kwa Pemba Airport, uwanja wa ndege wa Pemba. Lakini kikubwa kwa mara ya kwanza katika kipindi cha muda mrefu, ikiwa tuko Zanzibar, rais wa ADB amefanya mobilization ya resources kwa ajili ya window ya ADB kwa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania kutoka milioni 466 na sasa katika mwaka 2023 pekee tutapata dola bilioni 1.8. Kwa hivyo katika kipindi hicho cha usiku wa jana, rais wa ADB ameweza kuraise dola milioni 700 zaidi kwa ajili ya Tanzania. Na kuna maeneo mbalimbali, kutakuwa kuna maeneo ya kusupport kwenye eneo hili la reli SGR, lakini vile vile kwa sababu tunajua hali ilivyo sasa hivi ya chakula, tukasema kwamba rais wa ADB aisaidie Tanzania kuweka miundombinu ya kilimo katika maeneo yote. Kwa hiyo tutakuwa tuna eneo maalum kwa ajili ya miundombinu ya kilimo yote, ili sasa Tanzania ikiwemo Zanzibar kuweza kujitosheleza kwa chakula yenyewe, lakini iweze kuserve nchi zinazopita. Lakini kwa upande wetu tumemwomba ADB atusaidie kwa sababu sisi Zanzibar kutokana na uchumi wa buluu tunahitaji sana miundombinu, na miundombinu yetu mikubwa ni katika eneo hili la bandari. Kwa hivyo vile vile katika mambo ambayo ADB itafikiria ni kuisupport Zanzibar katika eneo hili la bandari.